shot. Get down in here. Yeah. We're all friends, right?
All friends.
People helping people.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
That's right. So who's all been here before? There we go. Anybody not remember being here before? It's a nice place. Yeah. For those that have never been here before, that's the golf course right here. You've been staring at for the better portion of about an hour. All 72.5 acres of amazingness at Giant Adult Playground. Today, you all get to go around and around in a circle until you don't want to be here anymore. Who's all playing all day today? 18-holers. We've got any 18-holers here? No, all right, here we go. How about that? Any 9-holers randomly? What's today? Today's day off on Monday and Tuesday, so I have no idea what day it is. But that's amazing. So you guys get to go around and around in a circle all day long until you don't want to be here anymore. That's the deal. We are going to be cart path only. We did get like a little over a half-inch of rain. Excuse me. Yesterday, but the boys have been pumping, and we are more dry than we should be. How about that? So it won't be as terrible out there for you as it could have been. But we are concrete cart path all the way around this golf course, from the blue tee box on number 1 to the elk tee box on number 9. And then from there it turns into a stone path, at which point in time you all stay on that stone path all the way on the back side after you finish 9, all the way on the back side up the back ramp here. Those that are going to be playing the black tee box are going to park in this cart staging area, kind of walk down this wooden path, tee it up, boom, get back in your carts, go around the shitter shed, in between the boulders and the fence around the putting green, and then boom, back onto that concrete cart path, okay? And that's where you'll stay for the rest of the day. I have a large ask for you as when we are wet, those sides of the cart path hold water, especially since people have been driving on them over and over and over again. So the ask is that if you're behind the group that's still in the fairway, right, in your group, just to wait for a second. Don't drive on that turf. Don't go around them to drive on that turf, because that creates spots that we cannot fix until we shut down in July when we aerify. So please be cognizant of that and respectful of that. That'd be great, because it's waiting 2 minutes isn't gonna slow you down as much as you think it's going to be. And I know everybody's excited to play a ton of golf real quick, but please help out the super in that regards, because that'll do wonders for us as we come out of the dormancy area. Because right now we've got a lot of fresh grass that's trying to grow up, and running over it a number of times in those spots, it just creates large little pools of mud at that point in time. That the grass does not grow at that point in time. But back to the golf course. Number 1, for those that have never been with us before, is down here to your left, par 5 starter. 2 is parallel to that mountain in the background, and 3 is parallel to the mountain on the right. That makes a big horseshoe, okay? That's the exterior of the property. If you happen to be playing a game of some sort, we always suggest the exterior of the property is the red penalty area. So anything left of the cart path on 1, anything left of the service path on 2, anything left of the cart path on 3. And those that have been with us before know that that cart path about 150 yards out kind of cuts across the fairway. So then there is actually a fictitious line that runs from that cart path through the trees there, and that's your line of the red penalty area at that point in time. That way you make sure you get whatever you need out of that bet. How about that? But we have a rule of thumb is if you can find it, play it, right? No matter where it is left of that stuff. Unless you're in number 2. If you hook it left in 2 or slice it as a lefty into number 2, just let that rest in wherever that field is that it rested in, because that person hates us, and they've shot at us a number of times last year. Got guns here, the whole thing. So that's real life. And he's not a big fan of people jumping over his fence, but other than that, everything's kind of like in play at that point in time. You don't have to worry about anybody else. So if you find it, hit it. Just try not to get shot in those other categories, right? But 4 comes back into the middle of the property, and 5 through 9 zigzag back and forth, so you get to number 9 here, and then you do it again and again It's a circle. That's what happens when you have 9 holes, right? Circle is the word of the day. It's the word of the morning, generally. We've got 2 flags out there for you. We've had 2 flags since January of 2019. There you go for a trivia question answer eventually. We had singular pins in inception of October 17th, 2014. So this October is going to be our 10th anniversary, which is pretty sweet. But we only had singular pins back in the day. But now we have double pins. And there's a navy flag and a white flag. So the suggested way to play the golf course, if you forgot or if you've never played it before, is navy flag first, your first loop, white flag second, your second loop, and then from there you've got 3 different options. You can alternate them: navy, white, navy, white, navy, white, or white, navy, white, navy, white, navy, right? And the 5th option, which is the most obvious, which you all should play, but none of you play it, but you all should play this, is whatever one you hit it closer to, knock it in. Because at the end of the day, score is irrelevant here for 3 different reasons. First and foremost, if you've never heard this out loud before, I say this to you all every single day, but it's a hard thing to hear, but nobody gives a shit what you shot.
Amen.
So, but second reason, you can't enter any of these scores into any handicap system around the world because there's no slope and rating associated to any of these tee boxes. And the third and the most important reason why score is irrelevant here at Sweetens Cove is that the architects, Rob Collins and Ted King Collins Design, they designed this place to be a match play golf club, right? With their belief that the more superior version of golf is match play. And at the end of the day, how many ever holes you play here, right? The only things you really need to add up are pluses and minuses. Hence, the only 2 records on the side of this shed that we care about are the bottom 2. 152 holes walking in a day and 254 holes riding in a day, both of which are idiots. There's a lot of golf that nobody needs to play, I promise. And then Mr. Rendy up there, the quote-unquote course record holder, will always forever be our course record holder because he did it back in, I believe, 2015. And, you know, he did it back there when there was singular pins. And we have never updated it since we've been double pins, nor do we care to because, well, at the end of the day, good for you. Yeah. So he will always forever be up there. And truth be told, we probably had it broken and or tied at least a half a dozen times at this point in time. But you know, they got excited. Somebody shot a 58, got excited, had their people sign the scorecard, brought it into us, and I said, "Oh, that's cute." And well, we gave them a shot of whiskey and a cookie, and they went on their way. And that's where that ended. But yeah. Back to the golf course, as you look at all the bunkers out there that we have, even including greenside bunkers, all our waste areas. So you can ground your club, take practice swings, etc. Just ask that when you do so, just do a once over with your foot. Even in non-COVID times, we had no rakes, which is semi sort of a lie because in 2014 when we opened, we actually had 6 golf carts ish, and each one of those was equipped with a rake. So yeah. But getting that rake in and out of that golf cart wasn't really conducive with speed of play sometimes, and those rakes broke, and well, we didn't have enough money to replenish them. So that was the end of our rake purchasing endeavor. So we have not done it since. Some really important things as you're out there, obviously being cart path only. Numbers to the centers of the greens, really important things, right? So numbers on sprinkler heads, 150 marks, colorful things on cart paths, things that are going to get you those yardages. Well, we have none of that shit out there. So just bring your rangefinder everywhere, okay? And or have enough adult beverage to fuel that yardage better, whatever you need to do. But first 3 holes, what you see is what you get. You're going to see all your trouble right in front of you. You're going to get to number 4. Number 4 is called King. It's the only named hole that we have on our scorecard. Happens to be an Alps style hole. So if you're unfamiliar with that term, think Alps like the mountains. Can't see through the mountains, right? So it is a blind shot of some sort. Happens to be a par 3 for those that have never played it before. So you have a blind tee shot. Happens to be the largest green on the property. This little guy right here, the Honey Barrel, is 17,500 square feet, and from right to left is 61 yards wide. And King is 20,000 square feet, and from front to back is 87 yards deep, and you can't see any of it from the black of the blue tee box, right? So the best way to attack King is go to the far right-hand side of the tee box. The further right you move, the more of the green that's revealed. The furthest point right, you're going to run into a hillside that's got a bench on it that looks just like this bench on the pavilion here. That's called Chico's Bench. At that point in time, you go to Chico's Bench, see the entirety of the green that we have, right? Both pins, as plain as day. You can get your yardage, right? Pick your aim point over the Alps and then go back to that tee box and hit it. Once you played King, you'll understand King. At the end of the day, it may be one of the largest greens you've missed multiple times in a day, depending on where those holes are located. But once you get past King, 5 through 9, zigzag back and forth till you get to number 9 here, and then you do it again and again and again, as many times as you want. That's what a circle is, right? We've got 4 different tee boxes. We got the black tee box at 3328. All the way back here next to the pavilion today, left of the Dunwoody Heckle Duck area, you got the blue tee box at 3100 and change, white tee box at 2700 and change, and the red tee box at 2272. So by today's standard, not a long golf course, but as you see from this putting green right here, and those that have been with us before know, that all your strokes are going to come from around these green complexes, and generally at an accelerated pace. It mimics air hockey more than it does golf at times, so as long as you acknowledge that, you're going to have a lot more fun out here. So here's an interactive part. Who sucks at chipping?
Everybody raise your hand. Come on.
You all suck at chipping. Especially, it's heightened here, and especially when we're a little damp in these low-lying areas as that water collects and is trying to exit, right? So it makes it that much more imperative to have these palm olive hands with those wedges if you try. But the best thing in your bag, the best weapon in your bag is going to be the good old-fashioned Texas wedge, which is your putter. So use that putter around these greens to access these areas that you're trying to get to. You're going to have a lot more success maybe after the first or second try, but you'll have a lot more success for the rest of the day, guaranteed. So sucky chippers, this is your day to keep up with the Joneses. How about that? But do that. Saying that, yardage that I told you on those 4 different tee boxes is completely irrelevant. So the suggestion on how to play the tee boxes is go to whatever yardage you feel comfortable at, right? And then play there for at least your first 2 loops, right? That way you see the entirety of the golf course that we have laid out for you here with those 2 pins. And at that point in time, alternate them. Pick another one, stay there, whatever you want to do, go all the way up to the front at 2272, the red tee box, which is just as much fun as 3328. Puts different clubs in your hands off the tees, brings different hazards into play, and makes you think, which is the whole point of golf, I believe. Unless you like to drink, obviously we have that option. So, you know, however you need to do it. But that's kind of it as far as tee boxes goes. Who's larger than a foursome today? Anybody? What do you got? 5, 6. All right. 8. You got 8. You win so far. Anybody else? 8. There you go. Perfect. So here at Sweetens Cove, we are different. We are the anti-golf golf club in this matter. We believe that golf is better with the people that you brought. So you all should play in that format, 8, 8, 5, or 6 rather. Whatever you want to do. You can start out that way, you can finish that way, you can play a whole day that way. We could care less. At the end of the day, we want you all to have fun, and this is the only place in the top 100 in the public realm in the United States that you can actually do such, so do it. And if you don't do it at some point in time, even if it's for a couple holes, right, the question's begged, were you even here at Sweetens Cove, right? Neat thing is, smaller groups, right, don't freak out about 2 8-somes and a 6-some, because at the end of the day, if there's 2 8-somes and a 6-some, that means there's more open turf for the rest of you all, right? And at the end of the day, don't wait for anybody to wave you through. That is not a thing here, right? So if you see open holes ahead of you and you're discouraged by pace of play, go to those holes. Because at the end of the day, there is no ranger out here. Just like the large amounts of bag staff that got your bags out of your cars this morning. Probably not, right? Yeah, nobody saw those people, did they? So there is no ranger. You all are the rangers. So if you're dissatisfied with pace of play, go to open holes so you can get the most golf that you can out of your all-day pass here at Sweetens Cove. And like I said, it's a giant circle, so you should be able to play that hole again in the future, because as circles go, right? If everybody's unfamiliar with circles. So the slow group or the large groups right here, you're behind them. and you get in front of them, and typically maybe you'd like to run and be like, oh, we're going to get done a lot faster. But the thing is about circles is you're always going to be behind them the entirety of the day. Does that makes sense? Everybody aware of what a circle is now?
Got it, yeah.
Just making sure. So enjoy it, embrace it, have fun with it, play as much golf as you can, go around people, and you know, enjoy the people that you brought. This is the portion of that day. You guys have set aside in an old day experience to play on this golf course, and to play golf for that matter with the people that you brought. So enjoy that, you know, embrace that. It's fantastic because there's you don't get to do that very not in any realm majorly unless you keep repaying for a replay rate, right? So enjoy that for what it is, have fun with it, play as much golf as you can, jump around, and you can get as much out of it as you can. We've had a day that was just as busy as today that you see, look around and you see pretty much everyone has shown up today, and we had a twosome sit there and play 62 holes. So it is available if you want it, right? That's a lot of golf. I wouldn't want to do that today. So, but you do what you do. I get the largest groups kind of checked in first. So I'll go 8-some, 8-some, 6-some, 4-some, 3-some, 2-some. Any singles here today? One single. This guy right here. Does anybody want to take this single with him today?
We'll take him up.
There you go.
You got three.
Yeah, you got three? Yeah. Thank you for being, that was super nice. Everybody else looked at each other like there's no chance of that. He looks like a nice guy.
You're cool, man. We got you,
yeah.
dude. We got you.
At the end of the day, for being not jackasses, we would like to, I'm going to give you 50% off your rate today.
There you go.
Yeah, and you too, single, for having no friends. That's right. We're just helping you out. And the rest of you, we are going to do a little discount because we are Cart Path only, so we're going to do 25% off for you guys too, just because. But these guys are nicer than you guys, so whatever. That's kind of just what it is. What we do every day. Sometimes it's free, depending on how slow somebody goes, because it's really awkward. The last two guys didn't get anybody to take them, so I felt really good for you there. You never know what's going to happen. That's right. But we get all that in that order. This is a state park-like experience. I say this every single day. So leave it better than you found it, right? Respect the golf course. Act like you've been here. That's kind of like our mottos, if you will. All of our carts are equipped with bottles of sand, so please take those bottles out with you as you go out to the fairways and refill your divots as you make them, please. And there are a few spots out on the golf course, specifically the par 3s. You can see a cedar chest just to the right of the two pines here on the alt tee box on number 9 here. That cedar box and a cedar box on King have green sand in it, okay? So as you run out, or if you are out at the beginning, please fill up those sand bottles as you keep going by those. And if you miss those two spots, after you get off number 9, right at the bottom of the retaining wall, right in front of, as you leave number 9, you're going to see a big pallet box full of sand. So keep scooping that sand up and refilling it. And after your day is done, whatever time that may be, if you could just park your carts back exactly how you found them, back them up into that fenced area next to the food truck, right? Empty out all your carts and all your trash, because at the end of the day, guess what? There's no cart staff either. So you all are the cart staff. So if you're displaced or displeased by trash in your carts and or bottles of sand not being filled, well, it was the cart staff yesterday that didn't do it. So it's your guys' fault yesterday. So please take care of that stuff. And after you're done, you can bring that key in. You can either drop it in the electrical box or you can drop it off to Colt. Colt will be shutting it down. Okay. But that's it on the forefront of that. Anybody staying in houses today with us? Where are you guys staying?
We're in the E9.
E9, okay. Upstairs birdhouse. I don't think we have anybody in the tiny house. Anybody in the tiny houses? So just no carts across the street is the thing. Can't take it either to E9 or the birdhouse. But you're more than welcome to go up to the houses, walk across, or whatever you want to do. Just no carts across the street. And if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, is the birdhouse. If you see number 1's green down here, far left-hand side, right over there, right across the green, if we're all imaginarily on the green right now, and we look directly across the roadside behind us here, and to the mountainside there is a Brown Ranch house, and that is the quote unquote bird house, which is the NLU guys. So no laying up, one of the largest podcast content creators in golf, right? But they love us so much they ended up buying a house here. And they rent it out and occasionally stay there for an Airbnb. But up at that, in the front yard there's a big flagpole that looks just like this one right here. And next to that flagpole, if you've watched any of our social media, you've seen an AstroTurf tee box where people hit onto our green from that AstroTurf tee box, right? And that right there is right in front of the birdhouse and next to that flagpole. And anybody can go across the street and hit that shot at any point in time. It's encouraged. It's kind of what we do here to the nth degree, which is play golf holes that don't exist, hit golf shots, and enjoy the people that we brought, right? So you all can go across the street. Just got to leave the carts on this side of the road, walk up, use caution. It might be a little slush fest to walk up that hill if you care to, and then use caution again walking up that steep driveway because it's absolutely the worst driveway around here because it's like this. So just use caution. It's a little wet, right? But you go up there, hit that shot. It's about 107-ish yards. Bring whatever you hit that yardage, and then hit that shot. Stay up there all day if you care to, or do it once, whatever you want to do. It's really physically a part of us. It's quote unquote the 10th tee of Sweetens. For a reason. It's not our property, but Mr. Rob Collins, one of our architects, went up there with an excavator and flattened out that spot and put that AstroTurf. The guys put the AstroTurf tee box from there, so the architect put it in there. So technically, it's a secret hole that we suggest is the 10th tee at that point in time. So enjoy that. But as far as food goes and stuff like that, we've got the food truck now. So those that have been with us before the food truck, there was such thing as ordering Domino's. And having it delivered, but at this point in time, Domino's has been called and they're no longer allowed to deliver to us at the golf course because we want to support the food truck. Food truck is ours physically. We purchased the food truck, but we have a third-party restaurant that actually operates it. So they've taken the chance to figure out if they're going to make any money whatsoever because we are taking $0 out of that food truck. It's all to the restaurant. So they've taken that little task on of providing you with food so you don't have to leave here. It's good stuff. Really, number one and number two, that it's pretty close. Number one at this point in time is a grilled chicken Caesar wrap and then a fried bologna sandwich. Out of nowhere, right? I mean, yeah, it's actually really good. But it's fantastic. So if you're feeling feisty and you want to try something different, that fried bologna is spot on good. But they have some other things. They also have things that we cannot sell you because we have no liquor license. So they actually have mixed drinks and they also have canned cocktails. So you're able to buy like high noons from them and some transfusion cocktails and stuff like that as well. So those are things that we can't do. If you brought beer, well, drink it. If you run out of beer, we have some for sale in the shed here because we do have a beer permit that we can sell you beer. So we have $2 domestics and $5 craft beer, a real penny pincher. So I think the premise on that is the more $2 beers you have, well, the more merch you buy. So yeah, so buy those if you wish. We've got that. And food truck is open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. So if you're hungry at 4:45, bust your butt up here real quick. She promptly shuts that window at 5, right? So get something that way you can get a little extra snack for the rest of the day throughout to get you to that golden hour. Golden hour, if these clouds break, it's going to be fire after a storm always. It's ridiculous. So enjoy that. Try to play to that golden hour. That's the goal, right? But that's what the food truck situation is. Beer situation here. Purchases are open after your first loop in the shed specifically for beer and or merchandise if you care to buy any of that stuff. And that's kind of what the day looks like. So we've got bottled water for you right here, and we actually have bottled water for you out there on the golf course. It's yours for free, so take as much of that as you want and hydrate in between beverages. How about that? This is the point where we would do a tradition unlike any other, which we've had a lot of repeat offenders, I see, but we have intermittently put it on pause until we get a liquor license. Boo, right? But who knew we had to have a liquor license to do this shit? Right. It's 4.5 years of doing a shot every single day, and all of a sudden we need a liquor license. But anybody a lawyer here? I'm just a lawyer. It's like, just curious because I always ask because it's such a gray matter to this because it's never our whiskey. You all bring it.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. So it's a whole
who's
thing.
to stop us from going to take
That's
a
it.
shot
You
in the
can go
parking
take a
lot
shot in the
together,
parking lot.
right.
But also, there is a hidden mailbox out there that we replenish with your gifts, or you replenish that with your gifts, and that stays kind of full. But I can't tell you where it is. So it's a if you know, you know type of thing, right? But it's if you were to navigate that to have your quote unquote first timer shot, it's somewhere between 6 is green and 6 is green. I don't know how to tell it to you any differently. So if you can't figure that out, that's on you. But that's it. That's what we got going on. I'm gonna get those 8-sims checked in real quick. We'll get you guys started. Get you guys playing golf. I'll assign you guys a hole. You guys will go out to that hole, and you'll play golf until you don't want to be here.